Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. We are doing another head-to-head beer review here. Thank you Brian L for the suggestion. We're taking Harpoon's Oktoberfest and Sam Adams' Oktoberfest. We're putting these two against each other. It's not always a fair contest on these things. It's just a matter of preference usually, but I'm going to give you the rundown and tell you which of these two I'm feeling better about tonight. Go ahead and start off here. Now I know, again, can versus bottle, not necessarily a fair review because sometimes the cans do impart a little bit of a metallic taste, but in this particular case, I just happen to have the Oktoberfest Harpoon in cans and the Sammy in bottles. So here we go. I managed to do a more aggressive pour on the Harpoon than the Sammy, but still get a decent head on both. Did have a couple of drops go dancing on the surface with the Sammy, which I didn't with the Harpoon. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to start off with the Harpoon because it is on my right. Now, slightly hazy, nice, toasty, golden brown color, fairly effervescent. Look at that. That is a good looking beer, no matter which way you look at it. All right, now the Sammy. Very similar golden brown color, slightly less hazy. About the same number of bubbles coming up there, just roughly looking at it, but they're swirling a little differently there. I think these are both Marson styles. Let's see. Yep, American style Marson, seasonal hardy and smooth lager. Yeah. Okay, so it just says it's a lager, not necessarily a Marson style for the Sammy Oktoberfest, whereas the Harpoon is specifically a Marson beer. I mean, lager and ale are the two top varieties based on the type of yeast, and then within each one there's different subcategories. But anyway, we're going to just keep it to the basics here. What do we like better? The Harpoon's got a nice, sweet aroma to it, a little grainy, a little roasty. Well, Sammy's actually got a more neutral aroma. There's less roastiness, less graininess coming off of that. Nice medium light mouthfeel. Medium. We'll go with medium. It's got that same sweet graininess I mentioned. I mean, just plain tastes like fall. Sweet, roasty, malty, not a lot of hop character or bitterness coming off there. Maybe a slight roasty bitterness from the malt, but no hoppy bitterness. It's just straight up good beer. Again, there's that sweetness follows it right through to the finish. It's just kind of there. It's also crisp and refreshing, easy to drink. It's just a great fall beer. All right, before we take a sip of the Sam, we're gonna let the burps out. We're gonna cleanse with some water here. I'll post a link down in the comments if you want to buy your own Juggernaid. Sucker holds about 4 liters. It's plastic, non-insulated, but it does tend to stay cool most of the day, and weighs about 10 pounds when full, so it's good for a little minor workout. And it does have a straw. Pardon. So if you prefer to suck versus chug, you can do that. Sammy. Similar sweetness, similar medium mouthfeel. Roasty, grainy. There's just something about the Sam Oktoberfest that just evokes a fall flavor. Don't get me wrong, they're both obviously fall beers, but the Sam Oktoberfest, and this could be a mental thing for me. It was one of my first Oktoberfest beers. It's always been like a yardstick that I use to measure Oktoberfest beers against. For me, it just tastes like fall. Yeah, it's a very similar flavor. It's roasty, it's malty, it's got a slight sweetness to it. Pardon. But there's just this like crushed leaf character. Damn. I don't know what's going on with the burps right now. That I don't get from a lot of other beers. I do get it in other beers from time to time, but it reminds me of a fresh pile of leaves. Not necessarily a handful of leaves thrown into the fire pit, but just a fresh pile of leaves. That's why it was messing with me. Hiccups. I got nothing bad to say about the Harpoon. This is a great Oktoberfest beer. This is Marson style, which puts it squarely where it belongs for an Oktoberfest. And this one for me is usually rates between a 4 and a 4.5 and a 5. Today it's hitting a 4 because I'm sitting it right next to my always 5 out of 5 Sammy Oktoberfest. And again, some of it's mental, some of it's experience, some of it's just plain old preference. I'm sorry, but this is my perfect Oktoberfest beer. And it's always going to be a 5 out of 5 for me. And, some of that's experience, some of that's personal preference. I'm repeating myself now. But one thing I'll say, all beer taste is subjective. It's all down to our own personal preferences. I could rate something a full-on 5. Somebody else is going to say it tastes like crap. So, anyway, that's just where I'm at for the head-to-head on the Sammy and the Harpoon Oktoberfest. I would drink either one of these all day long, anytime. And honestly, if it came right down to it, if the Harpoon was a lot cheaper, like let's say $4 to $5 less expensive for a 12-pack, I'm going for the Harpoon. Because, my wallet's a little slim these days. But that's beside the point. Even all things being even, money-wise and otherwise, and availability-wise, I would go with the Sammy 10 times out of 10. Not that there's anything wrong with the Harpoon. It's just my preference. But that's where we're at on these. Hit me up down below in the comments, the email link. Love to hear what you have to say about either of these two wonderful Oktoberfest beers. If you have a different preference, tell me why. I've kind of quantified it for you as much as I can. Let me know what you find to be different between the two. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers. I'm going to drink these both. Honestly, they don't really overlap all that much, but there is a bit of a difference.